Tonight on News 5 Live, PM Briceño explains Cabinet's rejection of Senate's FOIA request. Senator Elena Smith to step down as the union's representative in Parliament. And GOB signs a $16 million agreement for a new hospital in San Pedro. And in tonight's Meet the Candidates, we head west to the twin towns of Santa Elena and San Ignacio. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Nestled away in the quaint Belize River Valley, Black Orchid's Panda River Restaurant offers a variety of great dining areas and experiences with an excellent variety of local and international cuisine, with healthy meal options for vegans and those with health concerns. Your delectable dining can be topped off with our excellent desserts, natural fruit juices, and exquisite wine and drink options. All prepared by our certified chef and award-winning mixologist. Come to Panda River Restaurant and River Rum Bar to relax in the pool or use our excellent conference facilities combined with great dining.
A diamond in the jungle.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, February 16th. I'm Carla Ayers Musa. Prime Minister John Briceño has provided an explanation as to why Cabinet refused the Senate Special Select Committee's request for cabinet papers pertaining to the Portico Definitive Agreement. As we reported on the 12th of February, the Cabinet Secretary wrote to the Senate Select Committee informing them that their request cannot be honored based on legal advice from the Attorney General. According to the Freedom of Information Act, Cabinet documents are exempted from being released to the public. The PM says Cabinet must honor the law in this regard, even if it wants to fulfill the Senate's request. PM Briceño also contended that Cabinet has nothing to answer for. He says the agreement was simply brought before them and rejected. Here is how that conversation played out with him and reporters.
Just like what I said, that you expect former ministers, prime ministers to step aside. There are certain conventions, practices, and one of the practices is the issue of cabinet confidentiality, and that and we need to be able to stick to that convention. That the minute you start to make certain exceptions, then what will stop something else coming up 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, saying, oh, but there's another exception. So the convention is that we sign an oath of confidentiality of the cabinet. But we have been very clear about it. I've said over and over, we did nothing. The paper was made into cabinet and we rejected the definitive agreement, so there's nothing to be able to answer.
But in public perception, it looks like you guys also are frustrating the process in terms of the inquiry seeking to get to the bottom of what happened.
Well, the public perception happens because you all are continuing to push that angle. I think if you were to be fair as a journalist, you should be able to accept and to recognize that there's confidentiality in cabinet. But again, and I repeat, I've said it over and over, we did nothing. The paper came to the cabinet and we rejected and we tore up that and said we're not going to honor it. What more do you want from the cabinet?
There are questions in terms of accompanying documents along with the agreement that was tabled in cabinet. Who brought those accompanying documents? Who formulated those accompanying documents? What sort of support was cabinet given to it? Was it divided in cabinet?
There was nothing about no accompanying. It's just a cabinet paper that goes along with the attached the definitive agreement. That's it. The cabinet paper was prepared. As you know, cabinet papers are also confidential. It was presented and it was rejected. Punto final. There's nothing else to add. And I wish that you all would say that, continue to explain that to the public and don't behave as if the government is trying to hide anything. There is the issue of cabinet confidentiality. We've even asked the Attorney General to take a look to see if there's any way that we can breach that confidentiality.
Because we don't know, sir. But
please, man, please accept the principle of cabinet confidentiality. That's it. You don't need to know anything else.
Prime Minister Briceño also responded to questions about former Prime Minister Dean Barrow's presence before the Senate inquiry as legal counsel for witnesses from the last UDP administration. PM Briceño accused Barrow of trying to protect his former government, adding that this is a sad day for Belize.
I think, first of all, I think there's been this general convention that retired prime ministers, you go on the side and you don't stay here on the limelight. Now I know that he's an attorney and there's a lot of other work that he can do that would not necessarily have to do something directly with the government as in this one. So that is my first point. Secondly, I believe that the former prime minister continues to try to protect his former government. He was the one that he admitted readily that his government, there are many corrupt actors in his government, and so now he is doing his best to be able to protect what has taking place. I think it's a sad day for Belize that a former prime minister now will be actively out there trying to protect and defend the actions of his government when he's prime minister.
And Prime Minister John Briceño also does not agree that questions pertaining to land transactions fall outside the realm of the Senate Special Select Committee's terms of reference. This is the argument that Dean Barrow posed to the committee, and on this basis advised his clients not to respond to any questions from the committee pertaining to lands. But the Prime Minister contends that the land transactions are related to the Portico Cruise project. He was also asked if the government will seek to reverse the sale of those lands.
When you're setting up your terms of reference, you set it up broadly. You do not set every single step of what can be done. It's done in broad strokes. So when it comes to Portico, there are many issues that affect Portico and the definitive agreement. And the issuing of land in that area, that all of it was issued within a very, very short span, and that right after that it was sold to the same actors that are somehow directly or indirectly connected to the project, raises many questions. And I think at this, the Senate Select Committee had every right to have to ask those questions. That was something that we'd have to take a look, unless if we can, well, certainly I think we'd have to be able to take a closer look and to see if there was any wrongdoing, that if the law was broken in issuing this land, then maybe it's something that we can consider.
Coming up, Elena Smith to resign as Senator.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling, and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy." Robert Louis Dabney was an outstanding Presbyterian theologian during the mid-19th century. He served as a minister, as a chaplain, as a chief of staff in General Stonewall Jackson, and helped establish a seminary in Austin, Texas. As he aged, he began to worry about his impending death and expressed his fears in a letter to a former student and theologian, C.R. Vaughan. He wondered about his ability to die honorably and to hold on to his Christian faith. Vaughan replied, "Dear friend, let me advise you now, as you often have me. If you were about to cross a deep chasm and there was a bridge over it, would you stand there looking in at yourself, wondering if you trusted enough in the bridge to be able to cross? Or would you not rather go and examine the beams and timbers of the bridge and the quality of its construction and determine whether the bridge was trustworthy and then pass over it in confidence? Our faith is in Christ. Spend yourself focusing on Him and His sufficiency rather than on yourself. May this be a goal for all of us. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Corozal will finally get what they have wanted ever since, which is a PUP Town Council with a PUP central government.
That's what PUP Rigoberto Veos told us in 2021. With a PUP central government, his PUP Town Council would take good care of Corozal Town.
Fix infrastructure and create jobs opportunities for our people.
But all he has delivered is neglect and nepotism. One of the mayor's brother is town administrator. Another of the mayor's brother is manager of projects. But whatever public funds are purportedly spent on projects, they are certainly not benefiting the town nor its residents. Traditionally known as one of the cleanest communities in the country, Corozal Town, under this PUP mayor, council and government, is more filthy and run down than ever. Garbage everywhere, overgrown lots, and unmaintained streets and drains. Corozal Town needs a fresh start, and it all begins with a new town council led by Ricardo Rick Ake, and the UDP team believes is always better with the United Democratic Party.
Make we no lie. Cost of living, that was a real problem. But if you believe this is a foolful one, where they say if you vote for UDP in a March, cost of everything going down overnight, something have to wrong with you. The fact is that a lot of countries they struggle, even big countries like the US. Things not back to normal worldwide, with COVID and with the war in Russia. But that's why this government subsidized the bakers and the productive sectors and the transportation sectors and the tourism operators. That's why we push free education and free primary health care. What small country like Belize could have never escaped inflation. But that's why this government the push for people get land title and get house and opportunities for work. We will beat this cause PUP got one vision and one plan. In March, no knock your head like this one. Stay on track with the PUP.
The Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSD, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
It means a lot to me. I think often people forget the elderly. I can remember when this elderly lady walked through the customer care department. We have a section in the lobby where it labeled Golden Citizen, and Golden Citizen get priority. I called her over and asked her to come. When she came over, like a little sadness come over me, because the look what you have in her face and her eyes, and you know she had a lot of struggle during her years. Put back in the connection in the system for her. And I guess that from then, that when she was the first person that was on the Golden Citizen. And if I can remember, back then we paid the bill for them in full, and it's only a small handful. We had a Golden Citizen ceremony, and they present to them the Golden Citizen like a little certificate, and she was here. I feel good that elderly citizens across the board are being assisted with by this Golden Citizen program. So yes, I feel so good that they're being assisted.
Senator Elena Smith, who represents the trade unions, is demitting office as member of the Upper House by April 1st. Her pending resignation after several years as a parliamentarian is part of a succession plan that has been put in place by the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. On Saturday, the NTUCB will convene an extraordinary meeting in Belmopan, where 2 candidates will face each other in an election to choose Smith's successor. Earlier today, News 5 spoke with Luke Martinez, president of the NTUCB.
Indeed, in a conversation that we've had with her, mentioned that she would have submitted her resignation at the end of February with effect the 1st of April for personal reasons, right? The National Trade Union Congress is in the process of ensuring that we're going to have a smooth transition, right? So tomorrow we'll have an extraordinary meeting where we expect all of the delegates to come and exercise their democratic right and help us to make that decision. We had an AGM after this new administration took over, and the Governor General had requested for us to make nominations. Internally, we had agreed that we would have submitted Sister Elena as our nominee, and we had agreed that she would have represented the National Trade Union Congress for 1 year. 2 years is now gone, and we're just now making that transition, this transition into finding new nomination, a new representative. Of course, we definitely continue to insist that whoever the person is, that they understand the strategic goals and objectives of the National Trade Union Congress, so that they are able to represent us how we wish them to represent us. The National Trade Union Congress is being accused of being an elitist group who goes into a building and a few persons would make a non-democratic decision and just decide, maybe by handpick or whatever, and then from there a new senator would emerge. That is foolishness, absolutely foolishness. Whoever is out there running with that narrative need to stop that foolishness now. Outright stupidness, right? There is no other organization in this country who exercise democracy and equity more than the National Trade Union Congress, particularly under my leadership.
On Thursday, Cabinet announced via a press release that it had approved an amendment to the Occupational Safety and Health Bill. It's a significant advancement considering the fact that the National Trade Union Congress of Belize has been clamoring for the introduction of OSH Bill for the past 13 years. When we caught up with the president of the NTUCB earlier today, he shared a response on the recent development.
Our immediate reaction to that is the fight, the long fight that we've been pushing, the agonizing fight to get security for workers in the workplace is being materialized. And this is very good news for the National Trade Union Congress. The government has given their commitment. They are behind with the timeline, but we are satisfied to know that for right now, the cabinet has made that decision. The bill is with the Attorney General, so now Honorable Anthony Sylvester, we will be pushing for you to revise this bill as soon as possible, get it back to cabinet, we get it to House, they pass it through all its stages the same day, just as how they could do it when they want to satisfy the capitalists and get protection for the people. No, rush the OSH, my brother. That need to happen. But more importantly, Sani, I mentioned to the Prime Minister, I mentioned to the Minister of Labour that this bill is going, when it is enacted, will be a historic moment for Belize.
Yesterday, we told you that the People's Party's women's arm, the United Women's Group, issued a press release in support of former Belize High School principal Jamie Usher following her termination on Wednesday. Jamie Usher is also the wife of PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher. Prime Minister Briceño was asked if the party's women's group is being used for personal interest. Here is how he responded.
I don't think it's a matter of because it has anything to do with the chairman of the party, but everybody must recognize that Ms. Jamie Lee Usher has been an exceptional principal. I got to know her closely when my son was at the Belize High School, and she was full of energy, always pushing for the children, for the kids, and finding avenues, the exciting things for them. And I think that she, through her efforts, have been able to put Belize on the map. So I guess that the UWG, the United Women's Group, found it necessary to say something about it. That was not necessarily a party's decision. It was the women's group that decided that they wanted to say something. So it's not like they cleared it with me or the chairman. They felt that they wanted to say something.
It has been just over 2 months since the return of Bolido. As we have reported, the game is now under the control of the Belize Government Lotteries Limited. Today, Prime Minister Briceño announced that the government is anticipating over $70 million in revenue from the sale of Bolido over the course of a year. This is an average of $6 million in revenue on a monthly basis.
From what we're looking at, we are going to exceed over $70 million in sales in 1 year. If you remember, previously they were reporting 18 and 19 million and 20 million. We are exceeding over $70 million. That is what the former Prime Minister should be talking about.
What's the process going in terms of separating those funds and allocating them to the purposes which was indicated?
Well, what will happen is that at the end of the financial year, then that monies are going to be allocated, as we said to the public, we discussed in Cabinet, that most of the money we want to put it into the National Health Insurance and also to the charities program and some for sports.
In early January, the Belize Bank Limited was granted an injunction to temporarily prevent the Central Bank of Belize from implementing changes to its regulations on fees and charges. The charge that was to be brought into force on January 2nd would have regulated fees imposed by domestic banks for the use of certain services, including automated teller machines. Central Bank's proposed regulatory amendments sought to prevent charges for transfers within the same bank and to restrict charges associated with the use of ATMs to 25 cents per transaction. But all that came to a screeching halt when the court granted the injunction to the Belize Bank Limited. So what is the next step? Prime Minister Briceño gave a brief update today.
We have been meeting with both the Central Bank Governor and the Belize Bank, the officials of the Belize Bank, and we believe that there would be no need to go to court and that we can to meet the objectives of the Central Bank, and that's what we're working for.
And after the break, here are some of the San Ignacio Santa Elena candidates. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
This is a golden opportunity to elect a PUP City Council while having a PUP central government.
That dream of wonderful collaboration between PUP central government and PUP City Council has turned into a nightmare, as the Belmopan mayor and councillors have been unable to even work among themselves.
In trying to undermine my leadership, when you have plenty of enemies following you, bumper to bumper, and praying for you to fail, and I'm referring to my own council.
While they fight, the streets of Belmopan have been left to break up and deteriorate, and those closest to the Golden Opportunity PUP era representative play fast and loose with the city's affairs, as grossly overpriced infrastructure contracts are all awarded to a company owned by family members.
This is a golden opportunity.
Golden opportunity? For whom? The failed PUP council has now given way to another fantasy PUP slate, but Belmopan has had enough of all the blues. It is time for a complete change, and the UDP team is ready to take charge. Belize is always better with the United Democratic Party.
Tiger Sharks! San Pedro, Belize, you ready? You ready for this one here? It's basketball time! A Rebel versus the Running Rebels! Come out and support your Sharks, the San Pedro Tiger Sharks! Tiger Sharks! Where they take on the Orange Walk Running Rebels. Wanna come witness this monster matchup. Leaded by Coach Rico Black, Francis Arana, Jahad White, Daniel Karaki, and their two new imports. Man, this matchup gonna be turned up. You can't miss it. It's all going down on Sunday, February 18th, inside the Belize Civic Center. Game kicks off at 2:30. The San Pedro Tiger Sharks versus Orange Walk Running Rebels. Sponsored by Angela's Press, Joseph and Taylor, Maya Island Air, M&M Construction, Reggae Sundays, Pandit Joyride, and Finn's Liquors. The after party will be at Reggae Sundays at the Tradition with Reggae Dutch and more. Everybody pull up February 18th, Sunday. Tiger Sharks versus the Running Rebels, 2:30. Sunday, February 18th. Yo, I say Tiger Shark, say Tiger Sharks.
Remember how the UDP used to handle people? Remember how they shoot the cane farmer when they protest? Remember how they brutalize the stevedores? Remember how they use tear gas and baton to beat up people when they protest? The UDP don't got love for people. Real. Don't think this fool would have been any different? He knackhead and ignorant and arrogant like he pa. You see this PUP government? We believe in a people rights to protest. We don't deal with tear gas. We don't bully people. Because all are with a human being. First time ever our government deal with people so straight. We got a whole team to meet with the unions. And we sit down around a table and we figure things out. Nothing was ever perfect. But this government always listen. Remember that when you go cast your vote. In March, think straight and do the right thing. Stay on track with the PUP.
There's more that makes San Ignacio and Santa Elena Cayo distinct than its natural beauty. The twin towns, as they are called, also have a mixed town council since the 2021 municipal elections. Earl Trapp is the UDP mayor, and he has a UDP councillor. The PUP has the remaining 5 seats, and here are some of the aspirants for the upcoming elections on March 6th.
My name is Earl Trapp. I'm the incumbent mayor for this municipality and seeking re-election for this next term. In 2003, I applied to be a member of the council. I won 2003 all the way up to 2015. That was 12 years. So I did 12 years as a councillor, and then 2015 up to now, I'm serving as the mayor.
I'm Matthew Preston, and I'm the PUP mayoral candidate for San Ignacio Santa Elena.
What made you decide to enter politics?
Well, from a child, I've been involved in politics. I've been campaigning and also being a volunteer with community service all throughout my entire life. And I believe it's something that we need our generation, my generation, to get involved in politics now, because our country and also the globe is changing. Everything, it's modernizing, and it's time to make San Ignacio Santa Elena a more modernized town.
I am Ileana Moreno. I'm an aspiring councillor candidate for the UDP 7. I live here in San Ignacio all my life, born and raised. Come from a family of musicians. My father, everybody knows him, he's the legend Joe Moreno. And I've decided to run as a councillor candidate with Mayor Trapp because I have seen how he works. People could say anything, but at the end of the day, he will get up, and if he has to go and dig your drain to bring alleviate your situation, he will do it.
My name is Zaire Figueroa. I was born and raised within the Moraton area of San Ignacio, right near the Falcon Field, where a lot of people did as well. I studied and came up with a bachelor's degree in business administration along with economics.
And you're in politics.
And now I'm a currently elected councillor, and I'm seeking re-election once more.
My name is Abdel Kowo. I'm an aspiring councillor candidate, born and raised in St. Helena Town. I've been an activist in my community via after-school programs, summer camps. I've been a teacher, and I've also been the vice chair for the technical steering committee that advises the Child Advisory Board.
My name is Joe Awe. I am living in San Ignacio all my life.
Okay.
And St. Helena is the twin city, of course, as we know. And I have a lot of friends here and students. I'm a teacher at the junior college. I've been teaching for 18 years, but full-time for 10 years, going on my 11th year at the junior college.
As March 6 draws nearer, both the PUP and the UDP are ramping up their campaigns to secure victory at the polls. In the twin towns of Santa Elena and San Ignacio, the town council comprises a mixed panel from both sides. Mayor Earl Trapp is UDP, along with one other councillor who is not seeking re-election. The other 5 seats are all PUP councillors, and as News 5's Marian Ali discovered when she visited the twin towns on Sunday, both sides agree that having the 2 sides in office can be a rocky road for all concerned. Here's that report.
From the amount of signs, flags, and banners in some parts of Cayo, one can conclude that both sides have invested significant amounts of monies in their respective campaigns. And when we set foot in the twin towns of San Ignacio and Santa Elena on Sunday, the 2 political parties vying for office are not leaving anything up for grabs. The PUP candidates were out from 10 in the morning, led by their mayoral candidate Matthew Preston Silva, who is currently a councillor. The composition of the Santa Elena San Ignacio Town Council is unique because it comprises a mixture of elected officials with a UDP mayor and 1 UDP councillor and 5 PUP councillors. The PUP mayoral candidate Matthew Preston Silva said he is aspiring for that post because he believes he can deliver on priority areas that affect the residents.
Well, we have issues where a lot of children are not going to school and a lot of children are going to school without food. So that's one of our main mandates that we want to do in our manifesto, is to create a feeding program and also a scholarship program. When it comes to streets, our streets are in terrible condition, and thankfully the government of Belize and the 3 area reps lobbied on our behalf, and the PUP are cementing 14 streets throughout San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Our next manifesto is to cement 20 additional streets after March 6, because dust is a huge problem.
The mayoral aspirant, Preston Silva, says he believes there could have been more accomplishments had the town council not been a mixture of red and blue.
I don't know if you recall, but on March 6, 2021, the mayor said that he will have to dictate, and that was recorded on media. He would dictate, and so he did. So the 5 of us had to group together and push behind the scenes and bring a lot of development to San Ignacio and Santa Elena. We had so many petitions for our residents, which many went unheard at the council, but we made sure that we reached out to the 3 area reps and we reached out to the Ministry of Infrastructure, and they came in and assisted us.
This is sometimes part of the challenge when there are 2 opposing sides mandated to get a job done. The current mayor, the UDP's Earl Trapp, agrees that the last 3 years were not a bed of roses.
It has been a challenging 3 years for me, but as well, I will say that it was lesson learned. You know, while it has advantages, it has disadvantages. You know, and for the most part, the disadvantage was that we couldn't accomplish what we should have accomplished in 3 years because of, in my humble opinion, because of their ulterior motives. which is more political.
We asked Trapp to respond to his words that his PUP councillors have held against him since the 2021 elections.
Anybody under emotional stress can say anything. But I can tell you, yes, when it comes to, you see, you have to understand what the word dictate means. I will dictate the pace, yes, whenever the work is on the table. You dictate the pace according to the finances available. You cannot come and say, build the street, build it. You can say whatever you want, but if the monies are not there to do the work, then we cannot do it. We have to work according to our budget, according to how we collect our taxes.
Zaire Figueroa is a serving PUP councillor who is seeking re-election. He too says that the effortlessness that a full slate of any kind offers would yield more success, but that he is willing to work with what the people select.
I think once we communicate, there's no way we could go wrong, PUP or UDP. But I think obviously we see more eye to eye with Mayor from our side, and we can get more done along with the philosophies and the plans that we've built together.
So what are some of the things that you've not been able to deliver on?
Well, many are the day-to-day requests that the residents come up with. Some of them requests for their drains to be cleaned, for their streets to be dug, for their water and the road to be wet. Or if we bring up certain ideas that we believe are key to making differences within the council, it's not accepted.
Abdel Kowo is a newcomer who will be running as a councillor candidate under Earl Trapp on the UDP ticket.
We have a leader that has 3 terms of experience, and he also has experience of 4 terms as a councillor. So this is someone who knows what he's doing. When he speaks about the budget, he's planning within that budget. We're not selling pie in the sky. So what I bring to the table is fortifying the leadership of the mayor, the eyes and ears on the ground, being able to say, Mayor, this has happened, this needs urgency.
Despite the internal bickering that has occurred at the Santa Elena San Ignacio Town Hall, the residents of the Twin Towns say they want their town council to deliver, no matter who they put there to work.
The streets are too dusty. We need for at least wet it or do something. A lot of issues that we know they solve. Such as the park. They have a park right there in Santa Elena. We park the library there.
Okay.
They damage the park and they not fix it yet.
Okay.
You know that way we used to go sit down. Well, I believe that once you have solid, because whatever one says, I'll agree. And so, but if you don't mix, that way mess up everything.
Yes, there's a split council, and it has to be a council that works for the people. But I can safely say that, yes, they did work, but there's much more work to be done. And we want to see that work within this community because it is more geared to development. And that is a major activity. I want to see more that I know that a council could do for a community.
The roads, they have a lot of holes and stuff. It would be good for pave their roads and things, especially like the back streets there. A lot of work needs to be done here.
When I call for ask for water, the street they no come. I eat dust. If you open my house, full of dust, they no help. So why should I go support them?
It's a mixed town council.
It's a mix. I say for we PUP did it, but when you call them, they can't do nothing without the mayor do. You understand?
The UDP slate comprises Earl Trapp as the mayoral candidate and councillor candidates Marlon Fernandez, Sandra Lanza, Bernadette Fernandez, Ileana Moreno, Abdel Kowo, and Lynn Valentine. The PUP team is led by mayoral candidate Matthew Preston Silva and includes councillor candidates Zaire Figueroa, Rita DeFore, Omar Rodriguez, Aaron Mai, Shirley Neal, and Joe Awe. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
A former police officer is claiming that the court is acting unjustly by prolonging a case which he believes should be dismissed. The defendant is Daryl Tootsie Usher, a former police officer who was charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition back in October 2021. A black Glock 9mm pistol and a magazine loaded with 4 live rounds were allegedly discovered by the Belize Police Department in his possession. It has been 2 years, 4 months since the incident, so today, Usher appeared before a senior magistrate in the lower court to inquire about the length of his court proceedings. Usher, represented by attorney Richard Dickey Bradley, appeared in court at 10 a.m., but was told to return at midday due to the head prosecutor, Alifa Elrington, being on sick leave. However, attorney Bradley did not return to court at midday, which Usher claims was due to a misunderstanding. In the absence of his attorney, Usher asked to proceed with addressing the matter. He told the court the prosecution has not met the date that was submitted to the court, which he believes is disheartening and unfair to him. Usher stated that as a businessman, the prolonging of his case is an injustice and an inconvenience to him. He then implored the court to dismiss the case, to which they refused. Usher claims that he personally visited the prosecution branch office to urge them to submit their arguments, but was refused. While the sitting senior magistrate agreed that the case had been prolonged, she proceeded to grant another adjournment of the Crown. Since Usher is a former police officer, the magistrate believes that Elrington is best fit to handle the case. The newly agreed upon dates are March 22nd and March 25th, 2024. When we return, EU and UNDP launch PACE in Belize.
It is undeniable that Belize City thrives under UDP. And once again, Belize City is ready for leadership that works, a leadership that not only promises but delivers. Our mayoral candidate, Nelma Mortis Jones, is a beacon of hope and action. She is joined by a diverse and hard-working team. Horace Alford, Brian Audinet, Alicia Craig, Leon Gill, Samson Jacobs, Tyrone Laureano, Victor Miguel, Angeli Perez, Jason Stain, and Tatiana Young. With Nelma Jones Mortis and her team, Belize City will witness a new dawn of leadership that works and delivers. On March 6, vote UDP 11.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
In its Plan Belize agenda, the PUP committed to provide opportunities for deserving Belizeans to own a home. Within a year, the PUP through the MIDH delivered its first starter homes. To date, hundreds of homes have been handed out all across the country. One housing community is complete, and others are being constructed, including a community for public officers in Belmopan. The government has also financed the National Bank of Belize and the DFC, so Belizeans can access mortgages and build their homes. We are committed to our people, and we continue the work of building Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
Congratulations! You are a winner of Digi's Live for Free!
Babe, you almost done. You ready for the next one? All right, we'll get one. Actually, let me get two. Because we will live free, DJ.
Ono remember that a hurricane hit Belize City full on and make a serious damage over the country? You know why you barely remember? Cause this government no play. We get the people together and all of we work. Get everything back to normal, quick, fast and hurry. Look pan we now, with the track. Look pan the States Bridge. Look pan the Coastal Highway. Look pan the Crooked Tree Road. Look pan San Esteban Road, the pave. That after UDP promised that for 13 years. Look pan the south, they go on large with solar power. Communities pan the move. That would have never happened under the UDP. No make no ghost fool you. The UDP had the money for Isle and Petrocaribe and with the borrow and beg. And in 3 years, this PUP done the more than UDP do in 13 years. That the facts. In March, send Diddy Bally back the ferry. Stay on track with the PUP.
The European Union and the United Nations Development Programme are partnering with 8 Caribbean countries to bring improvements to their criminal justice systems. Across the Caribbean, the deliverance of justice is plagued by severe backlogs, an unacceptable number of persons on remand, and inefficiencies in the investigation and prosecution of matters. To address these inadequacies, the European Union is investing $10.5 million into what is being referred to as the Partnership of the Caribbean and European Union on Justice, PACE. This afternoon, an official launch ceremony was held in Belize City that saw key figures within Belize's criminal justice system in attendance. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Launched in Barbados in October 2023, the Partnership of the Caribbean and European Union on Justice project has 3 main objectives. The first is to deploy enabling technologies and systems training to increase efficiency. Secondly, to build capacity and gender awareness. And thirdly, to increase accountability within the justice sector and strengthen national processes. Chief Justice Louis Esther Blenman says Belize's justice system has taken a hit to its credibility due to compounding challenges.
Your invaluable support will enable us to realize our goals of ensuring efficient and effective access to justice to all and to serve to reduce the backlogs. It is common knowledge that the criminal justice systems of the Caribbean, including Belize, are plagued by case backlogs, and that access to justice is therefore not as it should be. Additionally, the remand population is unacceptably high, and confidence in the justice system is somewhat low. These and other challenges dent the credibility of our justice system. The project aims, through technological and other support, to strengthen criminal justice systems, improve access to justice, and reduce case backlogs in the Caribbean and in particular in Belize.
The project will target the Attorney General's Ministry, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Belize Police Department, and several other criminal justice stakeholders. Prime Minister John Briceño was present at today's launch. He says the project will complement his government's medium-term development strategy.
PACE is a justice project. It is a great initiative for Belize. This is so because it fits perfectly in line with our Plan Belize agenda. It also aligns with our medium-term development strategy. It will help us to achieve Sustainable Development Goal number 16 that calls on us to create societies where all of us can live peacefully with all our neighbors, no matter how they look or speak, how they love or pray. We call it inclusive societies. It is about helping governments to be more accountable to its people, to create societies where people have respect and commitment for the rule of law. To build an equitable and stronger nation, we need the judicial system that enhances efficiency and accountability in the delivery of justice.
Karim Musa, the Minister of Home Affairs, detailed how the project will improve the Belize Police Department's investigative process through training on investigative techniques and blood analysis.
Our ministry's focus under this program will be to enhance, as Amelin mentioned in Output 1, the technology and infrastructure utilized by our officers through the review and improvement of an updated and integrated information management software for the police that will allow the department to connect existing information management systems and streamline processes, further contributing to our goal of building an information management ecosystem, of having systems that can speak to one another. We will also be acquiring much needed equipment for our prosecution unit to better input real-time information. Additionally, we intend to empower our officers and enhance their capabilities through training in areas of investigative techniques and case management, training of our scenes of crimes personnel in blood stain pattern analysis, and training of our medical doctors in the area of sexual assault examination.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The government of Belize and the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, signed an agreement this morning for the construction of a general hospital on Ambergris Caye. The much-needed health facility has been a promise of numerous political leaders, and it seems as if this time it will finally become a reality. Here is more from Prime Minister John Briceño and the Taiwanese ambassador to Belize.
For us today, this is a historic day as we sign this agreement to finally start the construction of the hospital in San Pedro, Ambergris Caye. This is a project that will be serving both San Pedro and Caye Caulker, and we want to express the gratitude of the Belizean people, myself as Prime Minister and the government, to both you and James for the, your government, to the President, for the grant of $16,678,680 US. That will allow us to be able to finally build a general hospital for what we refer to the Mecca of tourism in Belize, in San Pedro, and also Caye Caulker. This is something that for many years successive governments have been talking about wanting to, seeing the need and wanting to build this general hospital. But finally this is coming to fruition, it's finally becoming a reality.
And it's really honored to be to be a partner to such a meaningful project, and I'm very happy, and I want to express my sincere appreciation to all the people who work so hard to make this project to fruition, and that we can start work up and running. So hopefully we will soon see this beautiful hospital serve the purpose and help the people and the visitors.
2 new starter homes were handed over by the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing to residents in Caribbean Shores and Lake Independence. It's part of an ongoing housing project being undertaken by the Briceño administration that has seen homes being built and handed over to deserving families across the country. Here's more from the recent recipients.
It feels like Advent, you know, the waiting before Christmas. Now the excitement, just can't describe. So excited, there's so much joy in my heart. This house means love, community, that all came together, and everybody that assisted. I want to say a big thank you, especially to you, Miss Marissa, as you were here after the hurricane, in and out. You even came to my office to sit down with me. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I thank God for this, This is a huge blessing, and I really appreciate the ministry for assisting me and working along with me, and all the guys from the MIDH that came in and out. I really appreciate everything, the excitement, words cannot describe at this moment. So excited.
Charlotte, first question. How are you feeling today?
Happy, excited, enthused. Everything in the good book. Everything.
Is there anybody you want to thank for today?
I would like to thank Miss Marissa. She has been here like 10,000 times to make sure that the house is finished and is done to the best of their ability. I would like to thank the minister for making sure that I get a beautiful house, and the contractors and their workers. Thank you so much.
How will this change your life, Ms. Charlotte?
Dramatically. First, my mom is not well. She has osteoarthritis like myself, and she needs space for ambulance to pick her up or any other transportation to take her to and from hospital if she needs it. And the roof is not leaking, so I am blessed. Thank you.
Today, the streets of Belize City were filled with the sounds of cymbals and drums as about 30,000 students, teachers, and parents participated in the second annual Little Lighthouse Fall in Love with Your Catholic School walk. The walk is part of a fundraiser organized by the Catholic schools management in order to maintain their quality of education throughout the country. 112 Catholic schools across the country participated in the event, so we stopped by the parade held in Belize City to view the festivities.
We call this I Love My Catholic School Walk. Fall in Love with Your Catholic School. It was supposed to be on Valentine's Day, but because it was Ash Wednesday, we moved it up to today. But it's our second walk with that theme. Firstly, it's a fundraiser. The Catholic management is the largest management in the country. We have 112 schools. And by the way, right now, all our schools are walking throughout the country. So we're all doing the same thing. But because we're so big and because we have close to 30,000 children, the financial aspect of managing schools is really challenging. And we really do want to give our children the best. And so we realized that we had to begin to do some active fundraising. And so this is a fundraiser. But as importantly, this is a way for us to be together, to celebrate who we are, to have the children have a little fun, and they're shouting out, I love my Catholic school. They're all wearing a band that says, I love my Catholic school. So they're in good spirits if you notice. We want to keep our children happy. We want them to also understand who they are and a part of the community that they belong to when they come to a Catholic school. So that's a major aspect of the walk. So but the monies are important too, because we really do want to be making improvements in our schools. So that's why we're here. We're here for many, many reasons, but mostly we're happy to be together. We're happy to have our children show how joyful it is for them to be a part of one of our schools.
Up next, Brene Maivet, an inspiration for all.
When Dean Oliver was Prime Minister, he refused to admit the corruption right in his face. Gaspar Vega, back then as Minister of Lands, arranged the transfer of 55 parcels of land to Vega cronies, who then sold them back to the Vega family. That 1,600 acres in Carmelita is now Vega's ranch. Dean didn't care much.
What I've seen on the news? Yeah. No, why would I look at those documents? What it is what it is.
Fast forward today, and Barra is right back in the middle of suspect land dealings. This time, telling the UDPs to stay quiet so the truth does not come out. No matter what, we can never forget what the UDP did to us for 13 years. Trust them? Not back then, not now, not ever.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store.
They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at The V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
The UDP say they can be trusted now. They say they are better for Belize. So why won't they answer questions about 17 suspect land transactions days before elections? If those in charge of the UDP's hotbed of corruption back then have nothing to hide, then why have they suddenly gone mute? Now this one has crawled out of the woodwork like the proverbial roach. He was Prime Minister when the Portico Definitive Agreement was signed, and when those suspect land transactions happened, he dearly loves to talk, too much even, but he doesn't want anything about those land deals to come out.
Except for giving his name and his address and his occupation, I don't know that there's anything else that you can ask him that he will be obliged to answer. Remember, I think it's a very sad day in the country actually that you have decided that you won't help the committee and assist the committee in the investigation. There are many questions we would have liked to ask, but I think it's obvious that you won't be helpful. I think it's a very sad day. I think it's a very sad day.
We learned about the story of Brene Mivette in 2023 when the then 6-year-old lost her leg from a mishap in their family yard. What was only a cut from a glass bottle turned into a choice of life or the loss of a limb. Now, almost a year later, 7-year-old Brene is an amputee, but somehow has proven that she can make the best of her scenario regardless. Sabrina Daly stopped in at St. Joseph Primary School to meet this little wonder and found this week's Look on the Bright Side.
In Class Standard 1 Gillett at St. Joseph Primary School, the students are eager to wrap up their Spanish lesson because in just a moment, PE, which seems more like playtime, is about to start.
I know you're excited for PE.
As they eagerly fall in line, you can't help but notice an energetic little girl leading the class in the most unique way. 7-year-old Brene Mivette, front and center, makes her way over to the ball court on crutches, her classmates following suit. We expected to see the support of her classmates, as Brene is differently abled after an accident that she endured over a year ago. But what we didn't expect is that Brene would prove that she is still very much able.
When I heard Brene was going to be in my classroom, I was a bit concerned, like thinking about, okay, where should I place her? Should I place her closer to the door. How would what would that actually look like? But after the first week with Brene, she could basically sit anywhere in the classroom. She makes it so easy. Sometimes, I don't think she realized she's on crutches, like at all.
At only 6 years old, Brene was an all-around energetic child who enjoyed the curiosity that life brings. She was also a dancer and the only child to her mother, Delva Joseph. But in 2022, Maivid suffered from internal bleeding after falling on a glass, the debris from Hurricane Lisa. Her mother then learned that her only child would face the prospects of losing her life from sepsis if she didn't consider an amputation. For Joseph, it was one of the saddest decisions she has ever made.
The feeling, I would say, I would not imagine it. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. At that point in time, I thought I would lose my child. She already passed out. The surgeons are saying the blood poison is running extremely fast. If she did not get the surgery immediately, they had no, she could have died. If we did not bring her back at that exact time, she probably would not have made it. It's sepsis. They literally have no cure. Nowhere in the world they have cure for sepsis. So the only way to save her life will be to amputate the leg. And that's when I had no other option but to have it amputated.
According to Joseph, at that time, her daughter did not understand what was about to take place. Instead, Brene encouraged her mother to be brave.
I was there crying, and she's like, "Mommy, stop crying." She told me to be brave and she's gonna be strong. But at that point, I'm looking at her you don't know what we're about to face in the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Brene has accepted her new reality. We got a chance to stop by her school and see for ourselves how she is defying the odds and managing her new normal.
When I reached home, I asked my mom what was these, and she said that how it scratches. And then when she went to go by, I tried it out for myself, and then I looked to drop. But first, when I keep trying and trying and trying, I got better with it.
During the 2023 carnival season, Brene caught the attention of everyone when a video was posted of her dancing her heart out in a line of revelers preparing for the road march. It was a sight to behold, especially since she was dancing without her crutches.
Your mommy tells me that you love to dance.
Yes, I really love to dance.
And you still dance now. How are you able to still dance now?
Because I balance on my one leg and I dance how much I could, and when I lost my balance, they just come pick me up.
Dancing, jumping, flipping, whatever, ballet, that was her thing. Dancing is really her thing. You could see her on TikTok and all of those. So she pretty much, I would say she's a dancer. She likes to jump, she likes to flip, she likes to run.
And on school days when she has to interact with other kids, it's even more extraordinary to see Brene present herself as a formidable contender in everything the other kids can do. Her teacher, Sean Gillett, says that St. Joseph represents inclusivity, and cases like Brene's open doors for others.
We allow them to come in and we, treat them as one, just like they're any other St. Joseph child. And then it opens a gap or a bridge for the others, parents who are out there looking for a school for their child. Let them know that, guess what? They can send them to any school that they want to, because we are here as teachers, as administrators to, welcome your child, teach them no matter what their condition or disability may be.
And that's why I love school. I love my mom. I'm happy that how my mom picked the right decision. The decision was if I don't cut off my leg, I'm gonna be dead. I'm happy that how my mom picked the right decision.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Carla Ayers Musa. From all of us here at Channel 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.